So the other thing we can do with actions that's really, really awesome is process photos. And we'll go through kind of a mini example of how to do this. The first thing you usually do is open up one photo and do everything you want to that one photo and record that as an action. So let's do that as our step one. Here's the first image. And it's on its side, so the very first thing we need to do is rotate it, but let's get our action started. So open the action panel and create a new action in the new actions folder. So I'm going to click on new actions and create new, and this one I'm just going to call photo correct one. Often if there's specific things you're doing to only 10 files, you'll create an action, you'll use it, and then you'll get rid of it. And it's not really necessary to come up with really inventive names for each one of these. So now I do everything I want to have done to each one of these photos. So I'm going to rotate this by going to image and choosing 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then do a adjustment of vibrance, because Bryce Canyon, which is where this is in southern Utah, is absolutely gorgeous and definitely needs some more vibrance added in there. And I could do any other adjustments that I wanted to at this point. I could create a more intense blue in the sky. I'm going to do this just a really quick way just to prove we can add another step in here. So I've just added a gradient that goes from the top down, and I'm going to pop it onto multiply so that becomes a much more intense hue. Now I have a bunch of layers, and I actually want this to stay as a JPEG, so I'm going to flatten my layers by coming up to the top right hand of that panel and choose flatten image and come up to my action, and I'm going to stop it, but I just need to tell you right now you have a couple of options. You can actually create a save close step in this, but I usually don't do that simply because if I'm doing a save close option, I will do it in batches, which is what we're going to look at next. So that's why I'm stopping it before saying save close. So now I have a photo correct one, and it's done everything that it needs to this image. So I'm done with this image. I'm going to save it, close it, and then come back out to my other images. Now I can process these all at once by opening them all in Photoshop. You want to do this if this is 10 to 20 images. I wouldn't go over 20 because your Photoshop will bog down, and definitely if it's a really complicated or big file that you're doing. So this, what I'm showing you right now how to batch with them open, is a smaller amount of files action. Alright, so we have our photo file here, and we want this to happen to every single one of these pictures. To do that, we're going to batch that action. Go to File, choose Automate, Batch. The settings for what we're about to do, you need to make sure that the set is your new action set and the action is set to the photo correct one. As for source, for this example, we're going to change this to opened files, so this will only happen to all of these files we have open. And instead of having a destination, we're going to say, well, just save it and close it. So that's why I said I wasn't going to put a save and close in that action, is because I could set it to do that here. And that's all I need to say, and then I'm going to hit OK and just sit back and watch the action. Alright, so here's something that I didn't think of the first time around. This window is going to pop up for each save, and because I didn't include this as my part of my action, I'm going to have to sit here with my Enter key held down. So I've just got my Enter key held down, and I'm going through these. Okay, now it's done. Let's take a look. Back out here in the file, and I'm going to just hit spacebar to preview. These are a lot nicer now, and you can see as I tab through, this is actually multiple images that could potentially be put into a panorama, which is what we will do next.